Hi, Anise Sequoia here with Firehouse Education and this week's video column. And this week what we're going to talk about is a not so humorous but definitely unfortunate circumstance. And the question that I was asked was, is a skunk occurrence in a home billable to the insurance company? And if so, how do you deal with it? So that is a very unfortunate situation, and I actually have a funny story to tell you when we're done with this about such a situation. But so to answer your question, I have never had a skunk odor problem ever turned down by an insurance company. It has always been covered. Now in your area it could be a little different, but I've never had one not covered. It is a sudden and unfortunate occurrence of odor, okay? And it usually falls within the realms of your policy guidelines. So that being said, how to deal with it. Usually in a skunk scenario, this is definitely one that I just go, we've talked before about, 1 is the least amount of aggression on a cleaning job, 10 is the most, or cleaning or odor. I pretty much go on up to a 10 because I've never had a skunk job that did not require some pretty severe things to be done. So the first thing that I would do, very first thing is, I'm setting up my hydroxyl unit, getting it running. I've got an air scrubber running in the area. If the HVAC system was on in that house, you've got to get it cleaned and get that filter changed out. And pretty much, if the skunk, as a general rule, what usually happens is they're wafting through, wandering through the house, get scared, and then they spray. So they're spraying in the air. Very rarely have I actually had to clean the walls and clean hard contents, but almost always we have to clean all carpet and all upholstery in the rooms affected, including drapery, and if there's any laundry items, then those will usually have to be cleaned. Of course, depends on the circumstance, but these are very absorbent materials, and so it tends to absorb the odor out of the air. So almost always I'm going to go to cleaning the HVAC system if it was on, that filter. I run my hydroxyl as well as my air scrubber going, and I clean all the carpet and upholstery in that room. Then I go from there to determine what else I may or may not need to do as far as cleaning and removal to remove the odor. So that being said, I have to tell you a very, it was funny but yet unfortunate situation that happened one time. We had clients that were in kind of a remote area, and they let their dog out one night, and the dog was out there and barking and messing around, and the homeowner thought that he was messing with a porcupine because the week before this dog had gotten porcupine quills in his face, and the homeowner was really mad at him, didn't want to deal with taking him to the vet again, so he opens the door, yells at the dog to come in. Well, when he did, shooting between his legs came a skunk because the dog had been outside barking and raising Cain with this skunk. It was not a porcupine. So the dog chased skunk right inside the house, chased it all around the living room, kitchen, and of course this skunk is freaking out and spraying everywhere. It was not a pretty situation. Reeked really bad. The people actually had to leave the home for the few days that it took us to do the get the odor out because it was that bad. So we got it all done. Everything was perfect. We got all the drapery delivered back to the house. Everything was wonderful. The homeowners were so ecstatic. They weren't back in the house. I think it was maybe 48 hours, 2 days. Let his dog out to go to the bathroom late at night just before they went to bed. And when he opened the door, the dog chased another skunk into the living room. He called us very sheepishly. What wasn't going to turn it into his insurance company because he thought, one, they wouldn't believe him that it happened twice in 1 week, and that they would possibly cancel him or not cover it because he had just used up his skunk odor card on his last claim. So anyway, that was a funny story. By the way, it was State Farm that was part of that insurance, or was their insurance company, and they covered it the second time completely. Thank goodness the second time was not near as bad as the first time when the skunk came into their house. So it was a much lighter situation to deal with. But like I said, kind of a comical story, not too funny if you were the homeowner. So anyway, I hope that you found this video valuable, that it answered your question in regard to the skunk odor. If you have any other questions about this, don't forget, head on over to firehouseeducation.com, subscribe to the blog, and you can get cool new information on there that I put up on items. And email me, anise@firehouseeducation.com, so I can answer any other things that I may not have covered about Mr. Skunk on this video. And I thank you so much for your time, for watching the video, and for being one of the cool kids that are subscribed to the rnrmagonline.com. And I will see you on the next video.